Motivation is temporary, self-discipline is permanent. Hi everybody, my name is Tasin Siddiqui and in this channel I talk all about motivation, career, finances, and if you do think that these are topics that are of interest to you, then I recommend subscribing to this channel and let me start this video. In this video, I will be basically talking about how you can maintain self-discipline. Okay? Because we all know that motivation, it might get you hyped up in the moment, in the short term, but motivation is temporary. Self-discipline is what is permanent. And self-discipline is one of those habits that, differentiates the winners from the losers, from the highly successful people to the not so successful people. So we will be talking about self-discipline and how we can maintain self-discipline. Okay? Because self-discipline also boosts our confidence. Okay? Basically, discipline, I would say, self-discipline is the basically what it means is taking action irrespective of how you feel. Okay? Motivation, when you're all hyped up, you might be able to execute those tasks that you were procrastinating. But self-discipline, it is the ability to execute irrespective of the fact of how you feel today. I might get up this morning and not feel like making this video, doing the work, but I do it despite the fact that I might not be feeling, you know, that motivated to do the work. Because, look at self-discipline as a muscle, okay, like willpower that you have to keep on practicing to improve. And with time, with a lot of practice, you would be seeing that the ability of you to maintain that self-discipline gets better and better. Okay, because let's be honest, a lot of times in our life, at least I would say 70%, we will not feel like doing something. Yes, we might have promised ourselves to, study every day, or go for a run every day, or do exercises, or yeah, you name it, whatever your goal might be. But then we might see ourselves falling short 70% of the time or more, you know because we as human beings, as I have mentioned in previous videos, we have this capacity and this tendency to be lazy. But what self-discipline is basically just pushing through that phase, through those plateaus when you don't feel like doing the work. You still go on and basically just get the work done. And just to keep the expectations real, let me also mention the fact that self-discipline is basically a lifelong struggle. Okay, you know it's not like it's a magic pill. Once you have it figured out. No, you have to keep working on it. You have to keep struggling. You have to keep striving. It's a non-stop thing, because your brain will make excuses. Okay? Your brain knows you better than anybody else, so it will come up with very convincing arguments, that, oh, it's raining today, you don't have to go for a run, or whatever the case might be. You don't really have to get up early in the morning. But these excuses, deep down, that these are excuses. Okay? And so you might have to learn to tell your brain to shut down and just get the work done. Okay? You don't always have to rely on that voice of yours. Now, how can we exactly go about, bringing self-discipline in our life? And I think the simple answer to that is by just doing harder things, right? We should be doing hard things. We should voluntarily pick up some things in our life, some habits, some negative habits, and try to change them. Okay? For example, it could be as simple as not eating for a duration of time, feeling that hunger, going without food, so that you know how to control yourself and develop that discipline. It could be not going for coffee for a day, going without coffee for a day. it could be things like that. So it could also be things like, going for a walk, 5 kilometer walk every day. And then once you start with a little bit, you would see it becomes like a snowball effect, and you would gain momentum, and then you would find yourself in that momentum, and being able to execute much harder tasks. And basically it would seem like self-discipline is becoming a lot easier than it was for you before. So the first thing I would say is, doing harder things, just go for it and do it. And then the second thing would be set goals and achieve it. And we should write down our short-term goals, daily goals on the tasks we plan to achieve, and then the long-term goals. And then we should try to prioritize them and execute and try to execute those goals, because as you would realize, as you go about achieving your goals, you would seem that you would, mentally you would tell yourself that yes, I can do it. And then it will become a lot more easier for you to keep doing more and more of the work. So yeah, set those goals, go and achieve it, and then it might become a habit for you. Self discipline becomes a habit for you, and you can achieve a lot more than you thought you weren't capable of. So our heart and mind, as we said, we are human beings. It always has this tendency to seek comfort, to take us towards laziness. But if you really want to become something in life, you have to steer your life. Okay, you will have to get in the driver's seat and control where you are going, in which direction you're heading towards. And for that, you need self-discipline. Okay, you need to tell yourself that, hey, you know what? I might not be feeling like doing this today, but I would still go ahead and do it. So yeah, try replacing some bad habits of yours with good habits. We all have bad habits. I'm not like one of those gurus who claims that I've achieved a lot. I'm still on that journey. This is a reminder for me as well, to basically replace habits with better habits and develop that self-discipline muscle. And that only happens with, by facing your fears, showing up every day and doing the work. Okay, and remember that you cannot change all 10 habits at the same time. So start small, keep your expectations realistic, maybe pick one or two goals, okay, one or two habits that you would like to change. And with that, you can start off, and then later on you can, once you've mastered those two habits, or you've managed to achieve those two goals, you can pick up two more goals, and like that you can expand your capacity, and that muscle of self-discipline will become better and better and stronger for you. So yeah, I wish that you choose your difficult path, strive towards success, and just show up every day and cultivate self-discipline. And with that, I'm at the end of this video. And just as a reminder, if you haven't already subscribed to the video, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And thank you so much for your time. Bye.